Hey!
Hello. What
Happy
was
Saturday.
that?
I don't know what that was. Welcome
Hello,
to
everybody.
another PSS Saturday live stream. We're a couple minutes late because I had to go get grumpy with my son. He was trying to play his Roblox while we're going live, and it interferes
Mhm.
with the live streaming sometimes. So,
Yeah.
how's it going?
Saturday family drama.
Yeah, family drama. You'll have to excuse me today too. I am overcoming a little bit of a cold, so my voice sounds extra nice. I think it sounds nice, but a little crispier, right, than usual.
I don't know. I can't.
Oh, you can't. Yeah.
I
So
can't do
hey,
your voice, but
how's everyone doing today? Looks like tell us where you're joining in from. Say hi. Today's going to be a really fun discussion, presentation, Q&A. We're going to get into some really fun stuff. We're talking all about podcasting on YouTube.
Mhm. And for those of you who are new to our channel, we are Veronica and this is Studio Steve, and we are the Pod Sound School. We are podcast and video producers and coaches, and we're also content creators. And in our channel, you can find videos about podcast production, podcast content strategy, also video podcasting, audio production, all of the skills and the things you need to do to really get going with your content online.
Yes, and that's our goal, is to just help you take your content to the next level. We're always looking for tips and tricks and hacks. And like Veronica mentioned, I'm an audio guy, so that's sort of how we got into all of this, was helping people with their audio production. So if it's your first time running into us, welcome.
Yeah,
Thanks for
say hi. And also, we've been doing this Saturday lives like for 2 months now. Did you say?
Yeah, I think a couple months now we've been doing
Uh-huh.
this. So
We're gonna see if this if we have a lot of people tuning in, if this is working for our channel or not. So far we haven't gathered enough data, but here we are. Also, we tend to get a lot of people, a lot of traffic here on this lives, people asking questions. So super chat is available for you if you wanna super chat. What it does is like, hey, hey Veronica, I have a question. So if you wanna pull my hair or whatever, get all crazy, just super chat me.
Yeah, then that's how you do it. So yeah, tell us
Or
where
boop boop.
you're tuning in from. And yeah, we do this every Saturday, 12
Mm-hmm.
p.m. Eastern time. So why don't we get right to it? And we're going to talk about just three different ways, methods that you can.
We have. Can we say hi first?
Oh yeah, we've got
Hi,
Anna.
Anna.
How's it going? Thank
¿Cómo
you.
estás, mamá?
We got Alexandria from San Diego. Got Caleb.
Oh,
How's it going,
hey,
Caleb?
Caleb.
Good morning.
It's good to
So
have you all here.
yes, really fun, and this has really turned out to be like the highlight of our week.
I know it is so fun.
Mm-hmm. So you want to get right to it?
Yeah.
Okay. So three things we're going to talk about, and it's just basically like the different ways or the different methods that you can podcast on YouTube. This is something a lot of people are interested in. There's a lot of podcast reports that get put out, surveys that they do, and in those surveys recently, there's the Edison research that comes out every year. They're noticing there's a huge amount of podcast listeners who actually listen to their podcasts on YouTube. So that's crazy to think about. And so YouTube is itself a podcast player. People actually just listen to your show on YouTube, but then they also like to watch it on YouTube. And there have been so many stories, our own story included, where YouTube has been a real game changer as far as growth for a podcast, having an easier algorithm to take advantage of, actually being able to get your content or your podcast episodes or however you want to present your podcast on YouTube, get it suggested to people. And so it's just like, it's kind of a no-brainer for the podcaster. If we can gather the courage to get in front of a camera, it's even better. But even if you can't gather the courage to get in front of the camera, the first thing and the first way we're going to talk about that you can start having your podcast on YouTube is audiograms.
Yes, audiograms.
And I changed the camera over to you.
Oh, okay.
Did you like my voice? I don't know why I do that. Oh, here you go.
So audiograms. I think we're all familiar with audiograms and how they look like, what they are. But in case you haven't, so they are these images that we can attach to our MP3s, to our audio, and we can then post those MP4s to the different social media and also to the different video platforms like YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
There are some good things and not so good things about doing this. The good thing is that why not? Why not posting those on YouTube? They're easy to make. They're not time consuming. You don't have to have a professional camera. You don't have to have a too elaborate setup. You just have to record your podcast and upload the MP3. Use a solution that will help you create your audiogram and then post that on YouTube, or you can use clips for Instagram too.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty easy. Also, why not having another platform that you can invite your listeners to go and check you out? And many times there have been people that they struggle finding the way to find your podcast using the Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, but it's very easy for them to find YouTube and to play these episodes on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just another platform that you want to have a presence on, and audiograms can help you with that.
Yeah, and what's cool about even the audiograms of that is you're able to stuff in a bunch of keywords and different search things that will make the description happy. You can also add your transcript to your podcast episode or your podcast video on YouTube as well. So that's another place your transcript's sitting, and your transcripts are really good for SEO because that's where the SEO bots are crawling through text. And so when somebody searches even on Google and they search for a podcast about or a podcast episode where they talk about this, your chances of ranking for that are very high when you start adding these videos to YouTube.
Yeah, definitely. Some best practices is that even though you're just going to be posting audiograms, you want to create a YouTube banner. You want to make sure, like Steven said, that your videos are optimized for search, that they have titles and keywords that the people are searching for, that you have descriptions and call to actions on your descriptions. That you also interact with your people there on YouTube. It's not like you're going to, because there are ways that you can automatically post on YouTube and just forget about your presence there. Because the good thing is that unlike the podcast platforms on YouTube, when you post your episode, that your people, your audience can leave you comments underneath that video, and like right away you can reply that there. You don't have to invite them to go and engage with you on social media. It's just like right there, and this is something that the podcast platforms don't offer. So that's another advantage.
Yes, and so there's just a lot of really good advantages. And then finally, to kind of wrap up talking about audiograms, the way Veronica mentioned that you can do it automatically. There's a lot of ways you can do it automatically. Headliner is one of those ways. Headliner, well, it's not automatically, but the ways that we'll actually do it automatically is if your podcast host does it. There's also a way that you can get creative if you're into computer programming and stuff, and you can automate the process via coding and stuff. That gets pretty complicated. Really, though, you just take the audio version of your podcast that you're already sharing with your podcast host, and then you find a way to add an image to that. And even better, if you can create an audiogram or a moving image that reacts to the WAV file. So real quick, I'll share my screen here and show you Headliner. Headliner is a favorite of mine when it comes to audiograms, and you can use it for free throughout up to a certain point, and then they start putting their Headliner logo on it.
Do you know if Headliner has an app?
I don't know if they have an app or not. I want to say no. I don't think they have an app yet.
I'm gonna check.
Okay, yeah, you check, and we'll look here with so here you can see this is just Headliner. This is really cool. If this is your first time seeing it, you can have audiogram maker or full episode, and you can turn up to 2 hours. So here, if you were to just search for a podcast like the Pod Sound School podcast, you can search any podcast here that's on the directories, which is pretty cool. And then you just turn that whole thing into an audiogram. Let me go back there. Guess I have to search again. I lost it. So I'll search for the Pod Sound School podcast, and I can grab our most recent episode.
They do have an app.
And here you can now choose the landscape option, and it says best for YouTube and websites. And we have an update from Veronica that they do have an app.
They do have an app.
Yes.
Yeah, because I saw some of the questions, and it was something about like, can I make a audiogram using my phone?
Oh yeah, or make
Mhm.
YouTube videos using the
Or
phone. And
make
I saw
YouTube
that
videos on
question
your phone.
too.
Mhm.
And I was planning. We'll get to that for sure.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. And then so here, then you can they have templates that you can use, and there's a lot of really fun templates. And one of these will usually do pretty well. You can just come and grab one. Also, there's a way to set it up automatically. That Headliner will just make these for you every episode, every time you post an episode, which is really cool as well. So Headliner is a good option. And we at first
Is the Headliner free?
Headliner is free up to a certain point. Yeah. You can do, I think, a certain amount of audiograms for them every month. I think it's 4 or 5 audiograms every month.
Plenty.
That's plenty. Yeah. But I don't know what the full episode thing is or not. So you'll have to look into their pricing. And then after that, I mean, you can just deal with the Headliner logo on your episodes too. That's not really that big of a deal. But we used to really think that really discourage people from audiograms. And now we've kind of lessened on that because there are people who do really well with that. And knowing that people are there listening to podcasts on YouTube, it's okay. Maybe they like to find their podcasts on YouTube.
Yeah, we're always going to push you to put your face in front of the camera, and because that's YouTube is a video platform. People go on YouTube to find tutorials, to find educational stuff, to find funny stuff, and things like that, and they expect to see people on videos or videos. That's why growing on YouTube just with your audiograms can be a little tricky, but it's doable. And you can grow at a slower pace than if you were posting videos with you in them.
Yeah. And one example of that is Darknet Diaries. Was one
now he's
example
very
that came to mind.
he has a very popular podcast.
He has a very popular podcast to begin with, but a good portion of his videos that he puts on YouTube, and also as part of his brand, he doesn't really show his face. But you see these here with Darknet Diaries. If I were to just click on one of these, this is just
the CEO of Mt. Gox has released.
This is just the episode, and it plays, and he has the background kind of moving in the background there. Let me turn this down, see if that helps. But you can see, so he's found a way to simply kind of have this animated video that he puts the audio to his podcast over. That's a
so
this
is something this is something I used to do in my 9 to 5. I hope my boss is not watching this. I don't think so. But
well, you
can't have your phone out on your desk, because then what are you are you working? Then what you do is that you open a tab, and then you get
your
Google,
AirPods.
Yeah, your AirPods, and then you're on YouTube, and then you find your podcast and you just let it play.
And you can hide your AirPods in your hair too,
and you can also minimize the tab, and they're not so YouTube is great.
I think that's probably where a lot of people are listening to their podcasts on YouTube is
for that reason, so they can
work,
because it's not and YouTube is one of those websites that are not prohibited, or that were not prohibited, at least at my corporate job.
So Kiara says, I finally made it.
Hey Kiara, cute, beautiful name.
Yeah. And she was also the one who had this question. Is it possible to make a video podcast from your phone? So I don't know if she's necessarily asking about the audiograms from your phone or not. But Veronica mentioned that Headliner does have an app, so you could probably do all that from your phone. But making a video podcast from your phone is totally possible.
What about Anchor?
Too. Anchor has audiograms that it allows too, and so does Buzzsprout. A lot of the hosting sites will have a way that you can create shareable video clips, but not full episodes.
Not full episodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one way that you would make a video podcast from your phone, and people do it all the time, is to try to get a better audio setup happening to your phone. Because with your phone, if you want to get a good video, especially for YouTube, you're probably going to want your phone at somewhat at a distance from your face, right? Not like right up here. And so the microphones of the phone are going to be really far away. They're not going to sound very good. And audio is way important on YouTube, a lot more important than people think. It's important to have really good audio quality in your video. So there's all these different microphones that you can get that will plug into your phone. You can get really cheap ones on Amazon that will they're called lavalier mics, and they clip on right here. And you can have a little clip-on mic, and those really aren't the best quality mics, but at least they're nice and close to your face, and that's how you can make a video on your phone. And then there's iMovie on iPhones. I don't know what it's called on an Android phone, but I know there's a video editor on Android phones as well. You can also, if you have a laptop, in addition to your phone, you can take the videos from your phone and drop them over to your laptop. The issues that we have when we're doing phone made videos is the file sizes are just so huge. And even the 4K videos that Apple boasts, is that the right word, boast? I don't know. But the 4K videos, they don't really come out looking all that great when you actually evaluate the file itself. And by the time you actually get the thing either uploaded to your G drive on your phone, or you have it airdrop to your computer, both take very long. They're scary. You're not sure if it's working right. You have to redo it a couple times. So the technology of actually capturing video on a phone and then getting it into a computer to edit it still has some catch up to do.
Yeah. So if you were, then I have a question for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Then if, let's say that the only thing I have is my laptop, and this is right here is my podcast setup, and I want to do video, but I don't want to use the camera on my laptop or my PC computer. Then a setup like this where we're using the phone would be
awesome.
A good idea.
Yeah. So
Steven broke our camera.
Yeah, I broke our really nice camera. I think I fried
$3,000 camera.
I think I fried the motherboard. So we've been I've been in the
mother father.
I've been in the depths of despair about that.
Yeah.
And basically what I plugged in
the doghouse.
I plugged in the wrong adapter because I have 1,000 adapters going on. I plugged in the wrong one, even though it fit. It was higher voltage, and I think it fried the camera. So we're using our phone right now in this shot that you see. I just switched.
Our iPhone. Do you have iPhone 12?
Yeah,
right?
And there's 2 ways you can use your phone as a camera: through Bluetooth and wireless, and that's Irian, I think it's called, and then also Epoch Cam are the apps. I experimented with those. I was trying to make a YouTube video about them, and I just didn't wind up making the YouTube video because I don't like the technology enough. It's just a little wonky, and the video doesn't look that good. But it's pretty cool, and it's still a better image than the camera you have on your computer. Our laptop cameras, even in the nicer computers, are usually 720p as far as the dimensions go. So it's nice to get a nice 1080p image from the phone, and these cameras are really cool. So I was able to get an app on the phone, and I can't look at it because we're using it, but I think it's called iFilm. iFilm, I'm pretty sure is what it's called, and it was a $15 app, but it gives you a clean HDMI output. And so we have this little thing here, which is a little switchboard by Blackmagic that has these buttons that we press to switch between the cameras, and we just plug in all the HDMI cables to it. And that's kind of cool to bring up because we're going to talk about this in another point that we get to. So you could very well just use your camera as an HDMI input, and then you have to pay $50 for a little HDMI input thing that takes the output of your phone and turns it into an HDMI adapter. But a lot of us have those anyways because you like to use your exercise apps on your flat screens, right? So it's the same little plugin you would get for that. But
then that way the iPhone is we're using the camera on the iPhone, but the video is not stored.
Exactly. Yeah.
Stored in the iPhone. Has that happened to you? Like you're in the middle of a sentence and you forget what you're saying? Happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
Stored.
Yeah.
So that's what it does. So then our live stream is being stored directly on YouTube. That's why you don't have to worry about then getting the file out of your smartphone to somewhere else.
Yeah. And that will transition us perfectly into the next.
Do we have questions?
No, we don't have any questions. That will transition us perfectly into go live.
Go live. Ask all your questions.
So that's why I thought it was fun that I was showing you this little switchboard. You don't need to get fancy. We started getting fancy after a month or two. We're going to continue to try to get more fancy, just to play with toys. But it's fun for when you're going live. It's fun for engagement and for you want to get people to try to hang into your live as long as you can. So switching cameras, they say, can help with that. Or having graphics up on or sharing your screen.
Like if I'm going to tell you something that's sentimental, then we switch to my camera
and she gets sad.
Hi.
Or sentimental. But the thing with going live where it's a little tricky is you can go live with your podcast, and now we get into our favorite territory. And this is repurposing.
Mm-hmm.
And we love repurposing. Anytime you can repurpose your efforts into multiple outputs, you're going to like get a bigger bang for your buck. So what I mean by that is it possible to go live to YouTube and record your podcast at the same time? So you've gone live to YouTube, and right now we're actually going live to our Facebook group too. So we're going live to Facebook and to YouTube. If we were well rehearsed, with the podcast episode, we could be repurposing this
a podcast episode
into
too.
a podcast episode. And it's really cool, the tricky ways. And the more you do it, the more you like look at, hey, how can I save time? Like what's taking me the longest amount of time to turn this into a podcast episode after the fact. So there's a few different ways to do it. The one concern is that you have, if you really want to grow and do well going live, people like to tune in to your live streams to ask questions and to talk with you and to interact with you. That's what's so fun about going live. So if you just go and read your script or do your podcast episode, you're not going to have as good of an experience with your live audience. So that's where, there's a few different tricks you could do. And the one trick is like kind of what we would do. We give our portion of the presentation, say, hey, we're going to give a presentation. This is what we're going to talk about. You start the live off engaging and talking with people. And then for a minute, you just give the presentation, and then you pause every so often. And when you pause, that's when you engage and answer questions and have fun with your audience. And then you say, okay, we're going to get back to the presentation. Then you take the audio that you've recorded live and you bring that into your audio editing software, and you just cut out the chunks where you were engaging with your audience, because that's problematic. If you just put a live recording onto the podcast players, it's going to be it's not going to make for a very good audio experience for people. If they can hear you talking to an audience they can't see. So there's that little trick you can do with going live. And then the other thing I was going to say about this is you can also go live to no one and do your show live, and a lot of people are doing that. So the same way, I'm kind of switching things around here, and I'm adding graphics from StreamYard, changing the graphics as you could build graphics. You can also, we haven't done it yet, but you can upload video files. So we're going to make a little video intro for these lives. That's our next little fancy thing we're going to do. And the video has audio that plays with it. So you can play the intro song to your podcast. It has a little video while you kind of get ready. And then you pop in, hey, welcome to another episode. You have your intro already. And you get really good at just doing your show live. That is really fun, because that can create a zero editing situation, which I think that's a lot of podcasters who've been at it for a really long time. That's where they want to get to. Zero editing. So either hire a podcast editor or find a way that we can just do our show live. And that way you're doing it into maybe a solution like StreamYard. But you can also, so this is an HDMI controller that we're using right now. There's lots of different companies that make them. And it's just a switchboard that sends the final output of whatever camera that you have plugged into it. So you could have the HDMI output, instead of going into StreamYard or Riverside FM or something like that, you can have it going into a hard disk recorder, but those are pretty expensive to get some good ones, but you could have it go into that as well. You could also screen record it onto your computer using screen recording software and potentially get a higher quality recording than you would over StreamYard, because the concern that I have with doing that, and the reason that I don't think would do that ourselves, is because the video quality would be quite degraded. And I especially like to add color correction and other things to our videos to make them pop here on YouTube. And so you don't have as good of results doing that after the fact.
We'll put a lot of layers of skin softening on. If you see us in real life, you'll be like, what happened?
Holy shit. Why does your face look like that? Yeah. We're actually 15 years older than what we look like. So
you are. Not me.
Oh, hey, look, we have the fallible man here. So sorry I'm late. No worries.
You are not late.
I was just looking at your picture on Twitter, the green screen in the background, your shoot. It looks like there's some Christmas things going on there. Hey, if you guys haven't checked out the fallible man, he's got a really cool YouTube channel here. You should check it out.
And TikTok.
And then, hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in again. I think you were here last week or the week before.
Yeah, I apologize. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I'm gonna try.
I think it's
Tamangre.
Tamangre. Tamangre. I don't know. You'd have to let us know, and so we can pronounce it right.
Yeah.
If you're just tuning in, we are the Pod Sound School, and we're doing 3 different ways you can start podcasting on YouTube. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Really nice to see you today. We do this every Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you tune in here.
So, and Steven was talking about kind of like the technical side of going live and some of the good practices that you can do when going live and recording your podcast at the same time, either if you are going live on YouTube or on Instagram, and how you can do that. But from the standpoint of your content and the planning that goes before you record live, the more work you put before you turn on the camera or you sit down to record, the better, because you are going to have complete control over the information that you're going to share. You're going to have complete control about when to do things and not, because it's not only the information or the script or the outline, it's also the engagement things that you want to introduce there, here as this or here do this. It's all the behind the scene and how will you call that? Like, you were in film, like you have the script and you have the outline, and then you have the look at the camera here or smile here.
I guess you call them screen notes.
Yeah, the notes.
The screen notes,
so you know what you're going to be doing during your live. For example, if you're going to have different intros, one for your video and one for your podcast, if you're going to have call to actions, or if you're going to have a demonstration that maybe, for those who are watching, you're able to demonstrate or because it's a visual thing. But if it's for your podcast, then maybe you want to be clear and, like hanging there or hang with me, because I am going to demonstrate this, and then I'll explain to you what I'm doing. Or it's so in your script, I want you to add like what you're going to be doing at every single moment during your life. That way you're not going to be lost. That way you're going to have control over your life. That way you're going to be less anxious and more present, and the whole experience would go well. Another thing is that just prepare for the unknown and for the screw ups and for the things that are not going to go well, the bright red faces and the losing your train of thought, like me, or just like what else we've done. Oh my god,
oh no, you're not talking about the beach. Don't bring up the beach.
So
don't look. So
this was at the beginning of the Pod Sound School, and I really was pushing Steven into going. Was it alive?
It was alive, yeah. In our Facebook group.
Our Facebook group, like for 2 people. Like that's another thing. You're going to show up, and maybe your mom and your la tia Martita will be there criticizing you, but we all start that way. We all start small, and the more you do it, you just have to keep pushing and keep doing it. And one day you're gonna have 1,000, 2,000, 20,000 people showing up, and then you're gonna look back and see, like, oh my gosh, like look at what I've done. I'm gonna cry.
I put on
this pendejo.
I put on a suit jacket and I put a green screen, and I was walking on the beach. I was taking them on a date with me.
We should have saved that.
It was just really embarrassing, and it's kind of it's one of those things you had to see. It's still in there. I'm sure you can still dig through the Facebook group and find it.
Oh yeah,
it's probably still there. They save all those videos.
But you look very handsome.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, well, it was a date. There was like birds flying in the background.
I didn't find the correlation between your suit jacket and being at the beach. Like,
well, it was a beach evening, and it was a sports jacket. People like to wear sports jackets out on a nice date,
I
guess not.
Dios mío.
All right.
Nos cojan confesados.
So to get off of to get back on track with going live, the thing that we found that's really cool is it brings a different side out of your performance, and we really like that a lot.
It does.
So in that performance element of it, it was fun for us. And so that's what we did. And we actually used to do a bonus episode for our podcast called Pod Bits, where we had audio playing that was already recorded, and it had music and it had segments, and it was a little 13-minute episode that we had to like race and catch up with and play with live. And we would always screw up. But what was cool is
that was fun, but very stressful.
Very stressful because there was way too many elements and I made it way too complicated. And the reason there was a lot of elements is I was recording it into Pro Tools while also taking the output of Pro Tools and getting that into the computer to go live. It was really fun. We used to go live that way to Twitter.
Yeah, and then the time element.
And that helped us to change up like the way we podcasted, and now has affected the way that we do podcast, even when we're on script or on an outline. Yeah. So when Veronica was just talking about, having everything prepared, also with that, you got to be careful to allow yourself just to be loose too, and just to do it and to have your face turn bright red, and to completely, the plan that you have just completely goes out the window because something happens.
But don't do it like, what is that you tell me all the time not to do it?
Willy-nilly?
No, that director.
Oh, don't do it. The Transformers director. I
What's his name? I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. So when you're going live, that's a really cool way to do it. And there's lots of different ways that you can go live to YouTube, and it's a really great way to grow your channel. So the main thing we really want to talk about when we're talking about podcasting on YouTube.
Michael Bale.
Oh, Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Michael Bay. Don't do Michael Bay.
Don't pull a Michael Bay. I don't know if you guys have seen that. The teleprompter stopped working, and he just
throws a fit and walks away.
He just threw a fit and walked off stage. It's like they show it in communications classes is what not to do when you're giving a public speech. Poor thing. It's really hard to watch. So what we're looking at
is like me in law school.
Yeah. And you can tell I'm really trying to keep us on track, and I don't know where Veronica is.
Can we see the questions?
Woohoo! She just wants the questions. Okay, let's look at the questions.
Okay. Woohoo!
Oh, Callie. Hey, Callie. How's it going?
Hello, Callie.
Hola. She said this forever ago. And thanks for your support
weekend.
And suggestions. I applied for us to be promoted on Apple Podcasts, and they said they promote Shakepedia on their front screen in Latin America on our launch date.
What? Woohoo!
That's cool.
That is so cool.
Wow, that's exciting.
Oh my gosh.
When is the launch date?
Yeah, you keep us posted. You take screenshots.
Oh yeah, make sure
moment
you take screenshots
you see your podcast there, take screenshots.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
I said Cooley. I think it's because I was looking
at
your name, Callie, so it's like Cooley, Callie.
That's so cool.
Cooley. I'm so excited for that. Not to mention that I'm also very interested in Shakira.
Do we have more questions?
And so that'll be a really fun podcast. I'm excited to listen to
what
as well.
What is that?
Grind.
Oh,
The hustle never stops. Oh, hey, in the granite. Welcome back. So that is really awesome. I'm glad we stopped back into this comment sections. How cool is that?
So cool.
Wow. So
so that's something that I've been having in my mind, like make videos in Spanish. What do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you think about
if we were to have videos in Spanish for our Spanish speaking people out there? Maybe if with English subtitles, so people, English speaking people don't feel left out.
Yeah, and we're also.
But I feel there's a lot of my people in Latin America who would love to learn how to podcast.
There's a few different options, and actually, this brings up a cool technique that you can do on YouTube. I'm glad you brought it up. I'm going to show you by looking at a fellow Podski. I think we looked at his Inspired Money.
I was watching the video with the catfish.
With the catfish video, yeah. I don't know why that's not more on the front of his page. But if we look at Inspired Money, I just want to show you what he does. And actually, Nick Nimmin does this on his channel too. If you're unfamiliar with Nick Nimmin and you're really looking to have some inspiration as far as what to do right on YouTube, he's our go-to podcast or YouTube coach. He actually teaches a few video lessons in one of our online courses too.
Smart podcasting
on YouTube. So I'm going to share this screen real quick and just show you the Inspired Money YouTube channel, just to show you what he does. So if you come down here, you see video interviews. He's made playlists. And then actually down here, he has featured channels. So he has Inspired Money clips. He's built a whole different channel. So he's decided there's a lot of different strategies of ways that you can present your podcast on YouTube. And the tricky thing is that on YouTube, there are different types of audiences. And so if you can really cater to that one type and stay true to that one type, you might have more success is the strategy. So if you're going live all the time, and you develop an audience who really likes to see you live, then they might not like it if you do little video clips. So that's Andy's thinking here, is that he's going to have, you know, his full episodes on his main channel, and then he's going to make little video clips on another channel and see how that channel performs. But look right here, he's made a playlist called Inspired Money Clips, and these playlists go to his other channel. And Nick Nimmin does that as well, where he has his Nick Nimmin lives that he does on his main channel. He records those and then puts them on a Nick Nimmin live. I think he calls it Nimmin Extra, is his live channel. It's a whole separate channel on YouTube that he's growing separately as well. So you could always do that. So you can make a separate YouTube channel for your full podcast episodes and just have that there and call it your podcast. So for example, we could have a YouTube channel called the Pod Sound School Podcast, and then we could have a YouTube channel called Pod Sound School Videos. Or just Pod Sound School.
Yeah, which we've seen that. Of course, we don't have enough data so far. We want to keep doing this and see what happens. But we've seen that there are, I don't know if it's the holidays or what it is, that our videos, our views are getting are low. This month. So we don't know if it's because we're showing up on Saturday and then we're releasing our videos on Sundays that we're not getting the views. But tomorrow, I want you to stay tuned because tomorrow is my turn to post a video, and I want you to watch it, and I want you to let me know if you're on the naughty list or the nice list this Christmas season.
Yes.
And for those of you who are naughty, so
Kelly says, yes, definitely do videos in Spanish, Veronica. And Kiara says, yes, please. So
awesome.
Here's and the reason I brought that, what I just brought up, the little side note, is because we're deciding whether to actually post those videos on our actual channel and have a playlist that's en Español. And if she gets to do it in Spanish, then I get the opportunity to try out.
Oh boy.
Estudio Steve en Español.
Oh boy.
And I'm gonna perform, okay? Because
he's gonna sit down with his Rosetta Stone.
I want to understand the struggles that Veronica goes through doing our YouTube videos.
I don't struggle.
And reading scripts in a second language. It's impressive. And I just think that I'm up for the challenge. I don't know why I want to lose all my hair.
I don't struggle. I have lost all shame and I'm numbed.
Oh boy.
I used to.
Okay, we got to see what the Fallible Man said. I had a coaching call with vidIQ, and they said that they used to be a must for different formats to have different channels. They said it is not as important with the current state of YouTube. Interesting. That's what I think too. That's kind of the what I'm guessing. And YouTube's so funny because YouTube is it's always changing.
Yes,
and the algorithm itself is actually a learning engine. So it actually is, they kind of set, like any other algorithm, they set it up and then it kind of becomes its own thing. So what happens is you have this algorithm of YouTube that works a certain way, and then you have all the content creators trying to chase it, but the algorithm's trying to chase the audience and what people like on YouTube. So it's just this really complex thing.
And YouTube, I mean, with the whole thing with TikTok and now Instagram Reels, like YouTube, it's doesn't know what to do really. And now, YouTube Shorts, I don't know how that's going or what are some of the updates that that the platform is gonna make as far as YouTube Shorts. But definitely TikTok came to shake the game with. Is that how you say shake the game?
Yeah, shake it up.
Shake it up a little as far as the long format videos, which is pretty funny to me that a video that is 4 minutes or 5 minutes is considered a long format, but those are the times that we're living in right now. Try to get a 13-year-old's attention for more than a minute.
Which is why Veronica can't stay on track for this presentation.
I just want to enjoy my time and I just want to chat.
You can, which is fine. But we'd also
I feel like we're constantly teaching and I don't get to talk.
I know, it's true. And I'm just busting your balls,
I don't have balls.
I know. But it's just an expression. So I love this right here. The Fallible Man says, I've been exploring the possibility of separating mine since I have 3 different formats of content. This is a really cool thing about YouTube, is that we have the option to make playlists.
Yeah.
And then the other thing here is we have the decision anytime we post a video to YouTube, whether or not to inform our subscribers. So if you know that your subscribers come from a certain video, for example. So like most of our subscribers come from our podcasting on your phone anchor video. So we know that our subscribers really are interested in smartphone stuff. They're just starting with their podcast for the most part. So maybe we don't want to inform them about our live streams, but we do anyway. We just kind of, we're just making, everything we do is like market research to see how it performs. And then if something performs really well, we usually make a bunch more videos that are similar to that one, just to make that audience happy. And so I think it really is just, I love the idea of just leading with your heart and kind of allowing your head to get out of the way. That's been my own personal journey that I've been going through with all this stuff too, that I find we're most successful when we do just chill out and have fun. I'm always trying to
But then the other thing is also like to do your research. Doing your research is very important because you're going to save yourself a lot of time, and then you're going to take advantage of algorithms and the things that are very popular right now, and things like that, so you can bring more eyes to your content. And also you just have to do it. You just have to do the thing. Like, there's so much research you can do, and I don't want you to get stuck on research and not do anything. You just jump on that calling, on that thing that is just like that is causing you to have this curiosity and do it. And then after you've been doing it for a while, then you look back at your numbers and see if it's working for you, if met your expectations and your goals. But if you don't do it, you will never find out. So that's why we're doing these lives every Saturday and see if they work for us or not.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about YouTube is you don't know until you put a ton of data. And you have to wait a while to see the data come back. And sometimes a video will just be sitting there for a long while, and then all of a sudden it just takes off because YouTube decides people are searching for this thing, and here's this creator that for whatever reason that we can suggest. And it's an elusive thing, the algorithm. So instead of trying to chase it, it's just do a little bit of research. Then, like Veronica said, allow the actual process itself to be the research too.
The time is going to pass anyway, so you might as well to jump on the thing and get going. You don't want to a year we're going to meet here again next year, to the end of 2022, and be like, oh man, I wish I would have started when the Pat Sounds Cool told me to.
The Callie has another cool question. We don't have a YouTube channel yet, but we're planning to go live on IG on our launch date per one of Steve's videos. Which is Veronica's idea. I just scripted it into my video. Any recs for recommendations for what to do during that live? So that's really cool.
The first thing that you want to do, and you want to do this periodically during the live, is so Instagram is just like, it's just so different than YouTube. But
I'm going to pull you closer to me. Okay. There we go. Yeah, there we go.
So you want to start the live with telling people what you guys will be talking about, and introducing yourselves, and just say like, just put yourself in their shoes. Like, you turn into this live stream on Instagram, like what would catch your attention? And for me is if they tell me at the beginning, we're going to be talking about this. Because sometimes when you like turn into those lives and then they're moving the camera and then you don't know what's going on and you don't know who's going to show up. So make sure that you are ready. And then when you press that live button, like, hello, everybody, we're going to be talking about this. I am so-and-so. We created this podcast because, our passion and this and this. And during this live, this is what we're going to do. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Then at the end, we're going to be answering questions. Or so keep it just always on point, and always just change the course of things, because after a while of people talking, you get bored and you're like, it feels like I'm not even here. Like, what's going on? So do that. And also periodically you make sure that if you have those jumps in numbers, you see 5 people are watching your live, and then you have 3 more people or 4 more people, then right there you may want to be like, for those of you who are just tuning in, my name is so-and-so, and we're so-and-so podcast. So that, and also just to be animated and be yourself, and just let the weirdo come out.
And
not that I'm telling you that you're a weirdo. I'm sure you're a beautiful, woman
and
that I just assume that because I'm a weirdo, like the rest of people have.
No, every human's a little weird. Like we're all really weird, right? I mean,
I'm a weirdo, and I'm not gonna hide it anymore.
Yeah, you're not. I mean,
No.
you just let it out. You know, I support that 100%.
But you let me know because I want to be there. I want to be there for you, and I
And for
want
the
to
live,
support you. So you let us know.
Let us know. And she did. It's January 5th.
And I'm such a Shakira fan. I mean, I've been like singing those songs since I was in high school. I mean, I'm that old. But Shakira's a little bit older.
Okay, so we have officially now been off track from our planned presentation for a long time. And I just want everybody to notice how chill. I just want you to notice how chill I am about it.
Good.
Like I'm totally chill about it. I've been letting you have your fun. I'm just letting the live be what it is.
Yeah.
But now
do you have an option?
I'm going to pull us back on track now.
Okay.
And really with what we're talking about, because we haven't even got to number 3 yet. So we talked about audiograms. And if you're just joining us, we're talking about 3 different ways you can start podcasting on YouTube. Mm-hmm. I'm Studio Steve. This is Veronica. And who would have thought I'd be the focused one, you know? And we have talked about audiograms, going live, and we're going to get to number 3, which is video clips. But really what I want to talk about is workflow and time. And that's what we're always concerned with, especially because if we can get a bigger bang for our buck, if we can get more results from our effort, then that's going to allow us to grow quicker. And that will also guide us in a direction of what kind of content we should be making more and what kind of adjustments we can make. So repurposing is something that we just love. And it's something that we always love from the very beginning. We knew getting into the Pod Sound School that we couldn't express audio production things in just audio format on a podcast, that it was going to take a YouTube channel to show the little plugins and stuff. And it was so cool that we did that because it allowed us to grow a lot quicker, that we were on so many different platforms. So it's all about repurposing. And a lot of questions that we've had on our channel, and we've made videos about it, is how you can record your podcast and your YouTube video at the same time. And I think that where we've arrived at, and our favorite method of doing it, and I think this is a favorite method of many of our students, is to do it in the same moment, but do it separately, because your performance is a little bit different for each platform. And if you're really looking directly into the camera and you're really trying to engage and you're really remembering all of your YouTube strategies that you're trying to do on YouTube to make people press the like button, or to make people watch another video, or to just keep them watching, because you have to try extra hard on YouTube to keep people watching, and you have to be more animated, and you have to really make that eye contact and find ways to, even in your editing and stuff too, that you can increase audience engagement and watch time. Yeah. Watch time is probably the big factor on YouTube for growth, which, you know, so that's, I think, why live streaming can do such a good thing, because if you can keep your audience engaged with you, even if it's a small audience of 15, 20 people that are in watching you live, but they watch the whole thing, that's telling the YouTube algorithm, that's giving you gold stars. Like, wow, people really like this content because they just watched 20 minutes of a video. The average watch time on YouTube is like between 2 minutes and 4 minutes.
Yeah, like I know, it's ridiculous.
Minutes. Yeah, so
it's ridiculous. But then when I'm watching YouTube, I realize like, oh yeah, that's what I do.
So what we really like then is you do all your research, like Veronica says. You have the topic for your episode. Well, then what you can do is you can have that be the theme for your week, for your content, is the natural kind of suggestion there, right? So, for example, we're going to talk about YouTube. We didn't do it this week, but we could have also had a podcast episode about podcasting on YouTube. We could have had a bunch of social media posts about podcasting on YouTube, and all of that we could record in this moment. So maybe right after we're done with this live, when we just got all these comments from you guys in our head and we're like all pumped up about podcasting on YouTube, we stop the live. We're here in front of our microphones. We just look at each other and have a good podcast episode. And then if we still have the energy, which we probably wouldn't, but if we still had the energy to do it, maybe we could pop out a YouTube video. And hey, look, we have 3 different cameras here.
Look, I'm like,
that we could do a quick YouTube video. I mean, you are just hanging out, which I love.
Why is that bad?
Nice. No, it's good. You're just like the doofus sidekick, and I'm the guy trying to take us to the destination. I want to give you guys some tips on podcasting on YouTube, because I really it's been like the biggest game changer for so many of our podskis. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of extra work.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it's
So last
scary.
Saturday we were showing you one of our students, and let's see how they're doing because it's been a week.
Oh yeah, we should see how we're doing. But
They had a video that really took off, and from they've been gaining more subscribers, and that video is just insane. Like,
so in 1 week, I don't remember what their subscribers were. And
Mhm.
again, the subscribers isn't the most important metric to pay attention to. Like it's that only tells you one thing. And I know we're all kind of obsessed with our followers and our subscribers and our downloads, but it is a metric and it's kind of cool. And it is kind of gives you those bragging rights, you know.
Mhm.
But so the video in question that really kind of blew up their channel was this one, and that was 133,000 views.
Mhm.
Last week when we were showing it to y'all, it was 70,000.
70,000. Yeah.
So they just found a video and a trailer. They do trailer reactions. They all
Mhm.
work in the film industry in Hollywood, and they do insider movie
Yeah.
reviews, and they've worked really hard on their brand.
Mhm.
And
Look at those thumbnails. I
the
mean, they're so
thumbnails are
talented.
really good. And that's, you know, maybe even an unfair advantage that they
I
have,
know.
because Kathy,
That's what she does for a
she does
living
for a living, is she
She does.
designs posters and
for movies.
graphics and stuff for movies, so she can make these thumbnails look that good. But it's really cool to watch the progression and see how that's happening for them. And if you were to compare this, for example, this 133,000 views,
Mhm.
which are monetized views, which you watch an ad, if I click on this, I'm sure I see an ad. See that
Mhm.
ad right there? They just got paid pennies for that.
Mhm.
So these are monetized views, and it's not a whole heck of a lot of money, but if you compare those views to what they were receiving on their podcast, and they had a
Mhm.
podcast for a long time, and we kind of like, well, Pod Sounds Cool says
Yeah.
we should get on video.
Yeah.
I guess we
See,
have to.
for those of you who don't know, we launched a course the beginning of this year. It's called Smart Podcasting on YouTube, and there we teach you everything there is to know about producing a podcast and videos, so you can post on YouTube. And not only that, we teach you. Nick Niman, a YouTube coach, he's there in the course too, and he teaches YouTube strategy, which is not easy, but
No.
if you get it down, then you'll be able to get numbers like this.
Yeah, and it happens over time and it takes work, but it's something that I just think would be silly not to take advantage of.
Mhm.
And there are ways you can do it without showing your face. But by showing your face, it's people want to see, they want to
Mhm.
connect with you and they want to learn about you.
Yeah.
And they don't care about your insecurities. In fact, they probably love your insecurities because they can relate to them.
Yeah, and if
So-
you've been podcasting for a while and you see that you are stuck, that you're getting the same 100 downloads, 200 downloads per episode,
Mhm.
or that you're just ready to add something, be more spicy with your content,
I'll show you guys
then this is
inside.
the natural progression. We
Yeah.
start with audio. Let's add video.
And I just thought I'd show you inside the course because I like sharing the screen here. This is the course.
Mhm.
We're really proud of it because this was like so much love that we put into this. But
Mhm.
this is really cool. There's all these modules, and then inside the module you have, these are some of Nick's lessons here where he teaches you about the YouTube algorithm
that you get on YouTube.
And then you just walk through it. And then we have the Handy Spy gadgets as
Mhm.
well, where that helps you figure out what cameras to get and everything else. And we walk you through, we teach you about lighting and camera work and
Mhm.
microphone setup and all this stuff. And then also a little bit about going live. And there's a
Mhm.
tech library. And like all of our courses, we update them.
Mhm.
And we're not constantly, but periodically we update our courses, and the students always get automatic updates. Like our
Mhm.
Reaper for Podcasters course is about to get a pretty good update,
Yeah.
which I'm excited about. But anyway,
so if you're interested, make sure that you go to podcastingsmart.com/spy.
Spy
SPY.
and we call our students in that program the Super Spies.
Yeah.
And we have a Super Spies community in
Or
there.
hit us up if you have questions.
Mhm.
If you want to make sure that the program is for you, that the course is for you, and what you're
Mhm.
going to get, after you take all the lessons, and we walk you through the whole process.
Yeah.
If that's something that you're interested in.
And then finally,
we have students with very, very good results. and we want you to
We want you to get good
to get the
results.
big numbers. We meet again next year and
see those big
and
numbers.
see those. Yeah, we love to brag about our students.
Yeah, and
that's something that we love to do.
With those big numbers come opportunities, and the opportunities that we're all looking for. Opportunities like being able to quit your job, opportunities that you could never even imagine.
To be seen, to be approached by brands to sponsor your videos.
Yeah.
To also get different streams of revenue too, because we get money from YouTube, we get money from sponsors, we get money from this different place and different things that we have going on. And I feel like sometimes we just get fixated in our podcast. No, we just need to let's make 2022 the year that we are willing to try different things, and that we're willing to push it a little bit further, so we can start getting different stream of incomes from different places.
Yes.
Let's get creative.
And we are now approaching the last few minutes of our live. So if you have any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments.
Sí, por favor.
Let's actually finish the presentation, Veronica.
Okay.
Because we never talked about number 3.
Okay, what's number
3 is video clips. This one is my favorite. And when I said video clips, what I really mean by that is just standalone YouTube videos.
Yes.
And this is my favorite because this one I feel like is where you can really get cooking and utilize the
what was that
cooking. You can get cooking and utilize the see what you do. You got me off track. Now who's that character? Where the hell did he come from? Well, you can get cooking.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm turning red. You can really take advantage of the two things that are so cool about YouTube. The one is that it's a search engine. That's insane. And it's the second biggest search engine to Google, and it's also attached to Google. So a lot of times, if there hasn't been like a cluster of the same blog article copied and pasted 100 times on a keyword in the Google results, then they'll start showing videos in place of those, which is cool. So we're excited about that too, because sometimes if you Google like how to start a podcast on your phone, Veronica's face pops up. That's a huge search term for us.
I know.
We could not have gotten that search term.
I'm famous.
We couldn't have gotten that search term.
I'm famous.
Through
I made it, mommy.
Through a blog. It would have taken us a lot longer to be able to get that search to pop up on Google through a blog. So actually, we get a lot of traffic to our website and to our YouTube channel just from external Google searches. So that's cool for that reason. And then also the suggestibility. So really you can start, after a while, YouTube will start suggesting your videos to people. It does that automatically. It just picks it up and starts deciding to do it. I feel like there's some preliminary things that YouTube looks for though. And that's to just make sure that your videos are optimized. It likes to see that you have the tags in there, that you've done some keyword research, that you have a nice description packed into your description, that you're telling YouTube what your video is about, that you bother to make custom thumbnails. All of those things are kind of like almost these preliminary steps that I think I'm superstitious that YouTube looks for those things before it starts suggesting you to people. And it absolutely is. And it just helps things to look better. So to be able to take advantage of those things is really cool. So what I mean by video clips are really just standalone videos. And there's a couple different ways, the popular ways, and I'll keep this quick so we can finish the presentation on time, that our students do and that I like to do is to do the keyword research first around the topic of your show, what people are actually searching for directly on YouTube. And so you've heard us last week and a couple weeks prior talk about answerthepublic.com as a tool. Well, the tool on YouTube that you should use, and it's really affordable, is TubeBuddy. vidIQ is also really cool too. But I think if I had to choose vidIQ or TubeBuddy to start with, I'd choose TubeBuddy. I think the keyword research tool is really on point. And TubeBuddy has a little tool within it. It has a bunch of tools, but it has a tool within it called the Keywords Explorer. And you use that Keywords Explorer tool. I have a video on our YouTube channel you can check out that shows you how to do that. And it just shows you what your specific channel can rank for. And it shows you how highly searched this keyword is. So you find as high of a searched keyword as you can that you can rank for, and you title your video that. And it's incredibly powerful. It works. It's after a while, if you continue to do that, you will show up in search rank. And you've got billions of users on YouTube. You got people searching for every possible known thing that they type into YouTube, and you can put your podcast videos in front of that. And then what you want to do though, if you are going to title your video that, then it's important that your thumbnail also mentions, hints at your video being about that thing.
Mm-hmm.
The simple way of doing that would just be to put the words on top of a frame from your video that says the same title of the video, but you can get creative about really getting your thumbnail to catch people's attention. And then it's very important, just like Veronica mentioned about when you're going live, Callie, on IG, is to immediately tell people what the video is about. This video, I'm going to talk about this thing, and you're going to love it. And if you stay till the end, it's going to change your life, so that people watch it. Because if they click on the video because they're interested in how to custom build their own ant farm, and then you're talking about things for 3 minutes before you even getting into the meat about custom building an ant farm, they're going to click off quick. And if they click off, that can actually show YouTube, if it was testing them as a test audience for you, it shows YouTube, oh, people don't like this video, and it takes you out of the test group. So you lost your opportunity there. So we have all these opportunities to get people to click on our thumbnail and our title. And then once they do, we have this short window of opportunity to catch their attention. And we can do that in video clips. And in the vein or whatever of workflow and time, we can do that also with our existing podcast as well. So you can record your whole podcast. You could do your whole podcast live, and then you could find a particular little clip in your outline. We could say, okay, we're going to get to this point where we want to talk about ant farms and DIYing your ant farm. If you're interviewing a guest, you say, this is going to be a little clip from my YouTube channel I was hoping you could help me with. How would you tell somebody to custom build an ant farm? And then you get them to say that. And then that can be your YouTube video, just that little chunk of your episode. And then you pop in at the first and you make a little intro. In this video, I'm so excited. I talked to so-and-so ant farm expert, and he's going to tell you exactly how you can custom build your own ant farm. And then boom, you pop into that. And at the end, what did you think? Was it cool? Make sure you subscribe and do all the things and smash the like button, and then,
wow,
I don't know what's happening. Oh, there's another character.
I know.
Pues. Well, I'm working. This is what the cold does to me. I needed to have some like Theraflu or some Dayquil or something.
Oh, that's a very good advice.
That's what I wanted to say. So there are 3 different ways that you can right now start podcasting on YouTube. There's audiograms, going live, video clips, and
the first one is doing it with the Pod Sound School.
Yeah, and the fourth one is doing it with the Pod Sound School, and we'll walk you through the whole process. And that's it. Let's see what kind of comments we have to finish it off.
See.
It was a hard choice between the paid version of the 2. The Fallible Man, he's talking about vidIQ or TubeBuddy. We're something we've been experimenting with vidIQ. This is side note, is the daily ideas. So as market research, we completely trust the daily ideas, which is an artificial intelligence that generates what it thinks good video ideas would be for you on your channel. And we've been doing it, and they perform really well. So we're just continuing to try that every so often. But yeah, and Callie, make sure to let us know, keep us updated. We'll mark January 5th on our calendars. Everyone else should too. That's going to be really 5th? Fun. Okay. And with that, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. This is always so much fun. And next week, same time, same place, whether we're sick, whether Veronica's completely
cuckoo
for Cocoa Puffs. So there's the expression cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs from the American commercials. And Veronica think it's loco for Cocoa Pops, which is one of my favorite things you've ever said.
Willy Nillys.
And the Willy Nillys. And the loco for Cocoa Pops.
And the blessing in the skies.
Oh, yeah, the blessing in the skies, which is actually, that makes more sense to me than blessing in disguise. It's a blessing from the skies, So it came down upon us from the skies. So, okay, you guys, hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. One announcement. Next Saturday's Christmas. So
yes.
We will not be going live on Christmas.
Yeah, we're going to be respectful of you guys being with your families. So we don't want you to ditch the kids and the wife and all that and to come and hang out with us.
Yeah, so have a wonderful Christmas, and then we'll be back the following
Merry
Saturday.
Christmas. And tomorrow, watch the video. I have surprises for you.
Yes, it's a great video. Really cool video, naughty or nice as far as content creation. And that's all I'll say. I'm not allowed to say anything else.
Yeah.
So watch the video. Tell us what you think about it tomorrow. And then, all of you guys. Last UFC card of the year.
Thank you.
Yeah. Happy holidays.
Happy
everyone.
holidays. We love you.